In this video, we are going to see some hands-on demo using zero-shot prompt engineering technique. We can perform a lot of things like sentiment classification, question answering, keyword extraction, document summarization using zero-shot prompt engineering technique. So we are going to implement all those tasks one by one. So now we are going to see how to perform sentiment analysis using zero-shot prompting technique. So consider this prompt. Classify this sentence as positive or negative. I love this product, it works perfectly. So in this prompt, we have two components. First one is instruction component, second one is input data component. So the task here we need to perform is sentiment classification. So the AI should perform sentiment classification for this prompt. So we didn't give any example that says like that guides the AI model. So here you are asking AI model directly that to classify this sentence as a positive or negative. So the LLM model, the AI model, uses its own knowledge and classify this sentence as a positive or negative. So if you run this prompt, you get an output like positive. So actually this is a basic sentiment classification task. So the model understands the emotion in the sentence without any example. It uses its built-in knowledge to correctly label it as a positive. So actually that's the power of zero shot. So you can include more categories like classify the sentence as positive, negative, or neutral. So here you can include more labels as well. So the LLM model uses its knowledge to perform the task for the input data that you given to an LLM. Now let's look at how we can do translation using zero shot prompting. So the model already knows many languages, right? So here's the prompt. So translate this English sentence into French. So I am learning artificial intelligence. So in this case also we have only two components, instruction component and input data component. So we are directly asking an AI model to translate this English sentence into French. So AI model may train on lots of amounts of data which includes different languages as well. So using its retrained knowledge, LLM model will give output which is similar to this. So even though we didn't give any translation examples, the model still translated the sentence correctly. So this shows that it already understands what translate mean and how to do it without training on our specific task. Now let's try to summarize a paragraph using zero shot prompting. So here's the prompt and the paragraph which we will summarize is. So here we have the paragraph and here we are having the prompt. So the prompt is summarize the following paragraph. So the paragraph is artificial intelligence is changing the way business work. Many companies now use AI to improve speed and reduce errors in tasks. So this is a small paragraph. So if you hit enter, AI model will output like AI help business work faster and with fewer mistakes, etc. So actually the model gave a short and clear summary. We didn't show it how to summarize before. It used its knowledge to understand and shorten the paragraph. So this is another great example of zero shot working well, right? So now let's do another sentiment analysis task, but this time we will ask for a short explanation too instead of just labeling it. So watch how model handles both parts in zero shot, right? So let's consider a prompt. Is this review positive or negative? Also explain why. And we given the review like the service was slow and the food was cold. So if you hit enter, it output negative. The review complains about slow service and cold food. So here the model not only labeled the review correctly, but also it gave a reason why it labeled. So it understood that slow service and cold food are like negative. So this shows how well zero shot prompting can work with multi-step tasks also. Now let's see how to do keyword extraction using zero shot prompting. So this is helpful for finding many points in a sentence. So now let's consider a prompt extract keywords from this sentence. So the solar energy industry is growing fast due to eco-friendly trends. So if you hit enter, we get this output. So actually the model picked up the important words from the sentence like solar energy, industry, eco-friendly trends. So actually these keywords capture the main ideas And again we gave no example here, that's why it's zero shot, but it's still effective. Actually, keyword extraction is mainly useful when you have a YouTube channel and you have some description, and you give the description and ask extract keywords from this description, and the AI model will give keywords from that, so you can use those keywords in your uh, in that particular video, right? So now let's try a named entity recognition task. So we will ask the model to find people, places and companies in a sentence using zero shot prompting technique. So let's consider a prompt: find all people, places or companies in this sentence. So where the sentence is Elon Musk visited Berlin to meet Tesla engineers. So we get this output. So here the people is Elon Musk, places where Berlin, companies are Tesla. So even though this is usually a complex task, the model understood the instructions clearly. It separated names into people, places and companies, all without saying examples first. So now we will solve a basic math word problem using zero shot prompting technique. Let's see how the model reasons through it. So let's consider the prompt. So what is the result of this math problem? If a pen costs 15 rupees and you buy 4 pens, how much do you pay? And AI responded it as a 60. So actually math problems and reasoning problems were not recommended using zero shot prompt engineering technique if the problem contains too much of logic. But a powerful AI model still work on zero shot prompting technique for even a complex math problems and even reasoning problems also. But for a less powerful models will struggle with reasoning and logic based problems. So we use chain of thoughts prompting, so which we will going to learn in upcoming videos. So here the model read the question and used basic multiplication logic to give the correct answer. So this shows that zero-shot prompting also works for math, reasoning, and problem solving if the AI model is too powerful, like ChatGPT. So now let's classify the intent of an email using zero-shot. So the model will decide if the email is a complaint, a query, or just feedback. So now let's consider the prompt. Label this email as a complaint, query, or feedback. So I have been trying to log in for 2 days, but the system is not working. So when you hit enter, the output will be like complaint. So here the model understood the problem in the email. The user is unhappy and reporting an issue. So the model labeled it as a complaint, like correctly, uh, like complaint, etc. Right? So the model labeled it as a complaint correctly without any training example. So let's now try to do something creative. So we will ask the model to write a short poem using zero shot prompting. Let's see what it creates. So write a short poem. So let's consider this prompt. So write a short poem about a robot who wants to become human. So when you hit enter, it given some lines of poem. So here we didn't show it any poems. Still the model created an emotional poem that matches the topic. So this proves zero shot prompting can even handle creative tasks like poetry writing. But in this prompt, if you add something like tone uh, and difficulty level in sentences, it would be like more effective. Like if you mention about temperature parameters, etc., it would be like more effective. But uh, for creative tasks, zero shot prompting were not recommended. But I showed here a powerful AI model still creates like still solve the creative task using zero shot prompting technique. Finally, let's do a reading comprehension task using zero shot. So we will give a short passage and then ask a question based on it. So let's try it using zero shot prompting. So here we are having this prompt. So read the passage and answer the question. So passage: lions are wild elements. They live in group called prides and are known as the kings of the jungle. So here we given a question: what is the group of lions called? And a model given an output called a pride. So here the model read the passage and answer the question using the correct word. It didn't need any prior example. This is a great example of how zero shot prompting works for understanding and answering questions. So, and one more advanced task that you can perform is, now ChatGPT is able to create a CSV file as well as other type of files. So you can prompt like that: create a CSV file and give one first of all you give one CSV file which contains some email body, and you ask to create one more CSV file that contain all contents that are present in the CSV file, and with one more column called labeled column. So in that labeled column, every email may assign with a proper label. So you can give labels as well as in instruction. So using ZeroShot, you can perform direct task. So the task complexity depends on the situation. You can create CSV files, you can create text files using just ZeroShot prompting, like create a CSV file with these many number of columns, these many number of rows where the data is like. So you can use ZeroShot prompting for such complex tasks as well, for creating files also. So in upcoming video you are going to learn about one shot prompting. So one shot prompt engineering technique. So thank